Hello, friends. Crystal here, your Vibrant BF, and we have completed June Joy. I wanted to do kind of a wrap up of what I've taken away from a month challenge of choosing joy, whimsy, play, creativity, curiosity, all that good jazz. And I hope to hear from you as to your takeaways as well. So, first things first, we come together. We're going to ground in this moment. I want you to roll your shoulders back. And I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and hold and release out through the mouth. Let's do one more. In through the nose. Hold and out through the mouth. It really is about really grounding in this moment. And I think that's one of the first things as my takeaway for June Joy Challenge was being really present. We are inundated, literally inundated. I was talking the other day about how back in my day, the TV would just go off. There was no more shows, right? There's no more programming. There's no more shows. Farewell. See you later. But now you have around the clock access to anything you can think of. There's no shutdown time. And so June Joy really allowed present mindfulness moments because we were choosing joy. And so we were being intentional about our joy, and we were seeking our joy, and we were scheduling our joy, and we were really being present in the moment of our joy. That's one of the big takeaways, was really grounding in that moment, being mindful. At the end of the day, when we wrote in our joy journals, I am so happy and grateful that. And some days were a little harder in the sense of like, it was a tough day today. I didn't feel a lot of joy today. And so you really had to be seeking it out and thinking, what am I joyous about? And it was most of the times rest was really big for me. I was grateful when I didn't feel the best, but I was able to have rest. Oh, that rhymes. When I didn't feel the best, I was able to have rest. But I was grateful for that. And it really makes me present and grateful that I'm allowed that. A lot of people aren't allowed rest. Something as simple and basic as rest, especially for women. Like, what do you mean you don't have rest? What do you mean you don't have a moment to breathe or think? I mean, obviously breathe, but to really allow myself to just be. There was nowhere I had to go. There was nothing I had to do. I was just really allotted space to just be. And that was beautiful. Another big takeaway was really just allowing myself, which this is something I already practice, but it really kind of honed in even deeper of just days I didn't feel okay. Like it was okay to not be okay. And though, yes, I was intentional about my joy and scheduling and all the things, some days were tough. Some days I'm just like, I'm just in a mood. I don't feel very joyous. Not to say that there isn't anything in my life to be joyous about, but I am having a rough day. And that is also okay. And really giving myself, again, space to feel that way. Another thing was play, really getting out in the community. It was really beautiful to be around peers and people and other Black Americans and women and just people that were just cool, right? Just to be out. It was really nice to meet some new people, and maybe not always so nice because not everybody you meet is BFFs, right? And that's okay. But it was good to meet new people or just be around people maybe I haven't had the time or the energy or the space or whatever for, to connect back with them and be out in the community and listen to good music or have a good meal or have a good drink or whatever it was fun. It was a reminder to just have fun, right? Like, again, we overcomplicate our lives. We are so serious as adults that we just forget sometimes to play. And it was fun to just laugh and be, right? And just to enjoy myself. Another takeaway was the community's feedback from this joy challenge and how people were really seeing how their lives was feeling, how their bodies was feeling while they were doing this joy journal, or the joy journal and the joy challenge, June Joy Challenge, of not being so inundated in the doom scrolling and really allowing themselves space as well to enjoy their peers and to go out and to laugh and to play and to do things and enjoy their gardens or to take their bike rides or whatever it was. It was really great to hear feedback from them to be like, wow, I've really seen a shift in my attitude, even, right? Because having a posture of gratitude really is an attitude. It really changes your subconscious thinking and it makes it so your lows aren't so low. Because it's hard to complain when you are laughing. It's hard to think about what you don't have when you're focusing on what you do have. See? So holding that counterweight, if you will, was really beautiful to see, not just with myself, but in the community, that I've created here. Something else that I really enjoyed was that my husband noticed. Like we were out and I was telling somebody about the Joy Challenge, and my husband was like, "It's been really nice." Like for him to hear that feedback from him, somebody I live with and have been married to for several decades, it was like, oh wow, he's even noticing a shift. Even on days that maybe I didn't feel so happy, whatever, so joyous, he was able still to see that there was kind of a higher vibration. I was sending out higher frequencies, which is beautiful to get that. Because sometimes we don't always know, right, the impact and the effect we have on our environment. So that was really cool. I talked about it before, but I definitely noticed a little bit less anxiety. Not that I'm super high anxiety ridden, but there's been a lot happening. And you would have never known. Not to say that you have to go out and broadcast one way or the other, but I felt more grounded and rooted in my body because I was practicing more joy and really choosing to focus on what was working. Another thing that I was doing was listening to kind of subliminal messaging, listening to a lot of Neville Goddard with the law of assumption, which we talked about, and just really having my subconscious mind, my RAS, listening to these very high vibrational, affirming words, thoughts, belief patterning, rewiring, things like that. So that was incredible. I think that about sums it up. I love that I not only know these things from a scientific, but a physical and spiritual, emotional body of the power of speaking life, of choosing joy, of living in joy, of practicing joy, of sharing joy, of teaching joy, all of it coming together, mind, body, and spirit, really helped me ground deeper into myself. It made me really proud to complete this challenge as well, because that's really beautiful. Um, I really am so grateful that I have the capacity to think up of a June Joy Challenge or Joy Journals and to be able to share with those of somewhat like mindedness of the power of being a light, the power of living in higher vibrational frequencies. So, June Joy was indeed a joy. Some days, like I said, were more challenging, but for the most part, I felt better in my body. I definitely plan on continuing it, maybe not as structured, but writing in your journal daily or writing on something daily about what brought you joy is just a good practice to have, period. Again, it's hard to complain about what isn't working when you are focusing on what is working. And so, choosing joy, showing up, being a light, letting your energetic frequency raise the vibration for the positive is always a win. And I encourage you as we continue on in July, August, September, October, for the rest of the year, rest of your life, to really look for the positive, to really look for the silver lining, to really look for the rainbows, to really look for things that feel good to the body, to really choose joy, to really live in your joy and in your autonomy, and to live in your authenticity, remember, which is the highest frequency, enlightenment, to be fully enlightened, to truly know yourself, to really lean in. It's a gift, not just to yourself, but to those around you. You give other people permission to shine as well. There's a quote that says, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. So when you show up and you're bright and you're shiny and you're speaking positive, it helps others to be like, you know what, you're right. I mean, that can go the opposite way too if you're just negative, but that could. But when we choose to show up and we choose joy and we choose to live in our magic, when we choose to live in our authenticity, it makes this life here, Earth School, that much more easier, that much more bearable. We find our community that also wants to be connected to life affirming, giving, higher vibrational beings, which only amplifies the energy. So, as we conclude June Joy, I want to thank you first and foremost for choosing yourself, for showing up for yourself, even if it wasn't every day. It's progress, not perfection. So continue to lean in and practice it more and more. It's like a muscle that you're strengthening. So strengthen that muscle and show up for yourself, not just this month, but for your life, because you are the main character and you set the precedence. And I want you to live in that main character energy. And I want you to create whatever life that you desire because you have the power and the autonomy to do it. And you choosing it and you showing up and living from the in state. Remember, law of assumption, and living as if it's already done. The universe, God, source has no other choice but to conspire to get that for you. So as we conclude June Joy, I want to thank you so much. Please let me know in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway? How are you feeling in your body? What were you most excited about? What did you learn about yourself? Whatever it is you want to share, I would love to hear it in the comments. And until next time, my friends, bye-bye.